Okay, we're going to continue with right-hand and Riemann sums. So this is review from before. So I'm giving you a function, f of x equals x plus 1. So that's just a line. Here's 1, up 1, over 1. So this is my graph. And I'm only looking at this graph from 1, 2, 3. And I know we can find the exact area using a trapezoid. We're trying to find the area underneath the curve. But we're going to use the idea of left-hand and right-hand rectangles again. So let's start with the right-hand rectangles. So I tell you n equals 2 represents the number of rectangles I want you to create. So if I create two rectangles, the width of each rectangle is going to be just 1. So my first rectangle, the width is 1. I'm going to hit it on the right-hand side. So there's my first rectangle, which is going to be f of 2. And I'll evaluate that in a minute. Plus, the next rectangle, width is again 1. I'm going to hit it on the right side. So the height of that rectangle would be f of 3. Now you can plug these into your function. So f of x is x plus 1, so f of 2 is really 3. And then f of 3 would really be 4. So your total area underneath the curve using a right-hand sum would be 7, which obviously is an overestimate. Let's do the same thing with the left hand. So width is again 1, but this time we're going to hit the curve on the left side. So there's my rectangle. Notice the height of the rectangle is f of 1. Second rectangle again, width is 1. Hit it on the left side, but the height is f of 2. And again, if you do this, you're going to get a total of 5. So one's an over approximation, the other one's an under approximation. Okay, once you try B on your own, pause this, and then come back to check your answer. Okay, your left hand, you're going from 1 to 4, 3 rectangles, so the width is always 1. And this time I'm going to write it a little bit differently. I'm going to factor out that 1 because that 1 goes to everything. The height of the first rectangle, if you hit it on the left side, you're going to start at 1, so it's f of 1. Then the pattern is you just go up by 1, f of 2, f of 3, and this will get you to 11. If you do a right-hand rectangle, again, your width is 1, but because you're hitting it on the right side, your first rectangle goes from 1 to 2, so your first height would be f of 2, f of 3, plus f of 4, and your total is 26. So see how you can create this pattern without necessarily drawing it if you just know where if you're going to start on the left or the right. Okay, we're going to do the same idea, but let's say I give you points from a data table, so you don't have a function. You're going to do the same thing. So let's do a left hand. So this is your first rectangle. You're going to go from 2 to 3. So width is 1. I'm going to hit it on the left side. So the height of that first rectangle is going to be 5. Plus, your next rectangle goes from here to here. So width again is 1. You're going to hit it on the left side. So the next height is 7. Again, the pattern is going to continue from here to here. Width is 1. Height is 9 in this case. So it's going to be 21. Your right hand is going to be 1, 7, plus 1 times 9, plus 1 times 10.5 equals 26.5. Okay, I would pause the video at this point and try number 3 on your own, and then come back and check it. So your left hand on this one should be a width of 10, 2 times 10, plus 2 times 15, plus 1 times 17, plus 1 times 24. Notice that your width is changing here, so that's why it's important that you check all of them. This is 91. Your right hand is 2 times 15 plus 2 times 17 plus 1 times 24 plus 1 times 35 equals 123. Now, here's a new one. It's asking for you the midpoint. The midpoint is going to use the number in the middle. So in order to do a midpoint rectangle, you have to go from here to here. This has to be your rectangle. So the width of the first rectangle is going to be 4. But for the height, you're going to use the y value in the middle. That's why it's called a midpoint. So this is going to be 15. Plus, your next rectangle is going to go from here to here. Width, in this case, is 2. The number in the middle is going to be the height, which is 24, and this is 108. Notice when you do a midpoint, you have less rectangles than you would for a left and a right hand.